Giving birth to a first child is supposed to be one of the most magical moments in a person's life, but that's not always the case. Every 4.5 minutes, a baby is born with a birth defect in the United States, and sometimes that number is even higher in other parts of the world. Now, one Israeli couple is facing a parent's worst nightmare after their first child was born with a life-threatening condition, and they need our help. Joining us today is Nadav and Adi Shalmon to tell us their story. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, so let's begin. Tell us about what happened on the day your daughter was born.
Obviously, we're very, very excited. It's a first baby, and it's new for us, so the emotions were very high. And she was premature, but we had a lot of hope that the medical staff will take care of her, and in 2 months. She will be out of the hospital and can join us back home and live a normal life. And just a couple of half an hour after the birth, and my husband came with a doctor, and she told us the news.
Now, this news, tell us a little bit about it. From what I understand, I'm going to explain it in the easiest English that's possible, because I know it's a little hard for you guys. She has esophageal atresia. Sorry if I mispronounced that, doctors. It's a congenital medical condition that affects the alimentary tract, so when you eat, basically, and it causes the esophagus to end generally in a pouch at the end instead of connecting to the stomach, which makes it impossible to eat, basically. Can you tell us a little bit more about what it is that she is specifically facing?
In our daughter case, for example, if we try to get her some milk, instead of
getting down to the stomach.
Yeah, get it down to the stomach, it will go through the lungs.
Right, which is obviously very dangerous.
Yeah.
So, you now need to get this life-saving surgery for your daughter to be able to survive this. Where have you guys gone for help?
We found after a long search that there's a children's hospital in Boston, and there's a special unit for that, and there's 100% success.
Wow. So, essentially, if she got this surgery in Boston, that would hopefully end the story completely, right?
We'll bring her back home normal and
then we could raise her up to be a fighter. All right. So, obviously, a surgery like this can be really, really expensive. What are the costs that you guys are looking at to be able to afford this?
Yes, it is very expensive. It's the cost for the operation is $430,000 US dollars.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there are probably some more expenses involved in flying all the way to Boston,
yes.
right? Because you have to actually transport the baby from Israel to the United States.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. So what are you doing to raise this money?
Okay. So recently we've just begun our campaign to raise this huge amount, and hopefully we'll get it. Sooner than later.
But there is a long way to get the sum of money. Because
do you have a time frame though that you need to get that money?
Every day is crucial. Every day. Now she's fine, but tomorrow she can be worse and worse and worse. And I know the doctors are doing all that they can do to help her, but she's so tiny, and she's a strong baby, and she's so powerful, but we can never know.
Right. Now, you guys are a young couple. Did you see this? This is kind of like an example of how simple it is for these things to happen. You have no idea, right? Did you have any idea that there would be any, health issues when she was born?
No. We did all the tests that we do in Israel, and it's a lot of tests, and none of it, they didn't know anything.
It didn't show up. It just So
it's very difficult.
It's quite difficult to see it along the pregnancy.
So you went into the hospital not expecting this situation at all.
I gave birth 2 months or premature.
Right.
32
weeks in advance.
Yes, and they didn't know why I am.
Why you ended up going into labor so early?
They didn't know why I'm getting into labor, actually.
It was obvious that something is wrong,
right?
But they didn't know
exactly what it was. They couldn't pinpoint
to put
it.
the finger. Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Well, listen. I know that there are so many people who are watching this who probably want to help you guys and help save this little baby's life. So, what can they do?
Yeah, so there is an NGO called Kav L'Chaim, which helps us with all the donation and stuff.
And that's Israel-based, Kav L'Chaim.
Kav
Yeah,
L'Chaim
Kav L'Chaim
Israel.
Israel.
Okay,
Yeah.
beautiful.
And they are helping us with the collecting all the donations. And if you can give, please, whatever you can give will be a perfect help for Ella, because even the small thing or spreading the word, everything will help her to live, actually. So I'm sorry, I'm a bit emotional, you know,
Yeah.
it's something deep inside, because it's not easy for us asking for money or help, but I know there's a lot of good people around, and everyone says like 4 months, everyone is trying to help us, and
course.
obviously the only thing that we want to see is our baby back home and normal, happy, smiling.
Well, we're going to do everything we can to try to make that happen, and I hope that our viewers out here can also help with this cause. For more information and to donate, just go to the link that's on the screen. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Natasha.